Hello friends, in this video I am going to discuss different formulas of the moment of inertia for different laminas in two dimensions. So let's start the discussion of different formulas for the moment of inertia concept. So here I am going to start these formulas with radius of gyration, because radius of gyration is very important term if we are considering moment of inertia of any plane lamina. So basically radius of gyration is considered as the radius for that particular lamina when the lamina is rotating about a point. So radius of gyration we can define as the distance between a point and a given axis, and that point, how we consider that point, we consider as the point where total area of the lamina is concentrated. So if we are considering any plane lamina and if we are taking only area or volume of the lamina, if we are not taking mass of the lamina, so at that particular point the area is concentrated at one point, and that point we are considering as the point about which that lamina is rotating. So if we are considering any lamina and the total area of the lamina is concentrated at one point, in that case moment of inertia of that lamina will not change about a given axis. So in that case, if we are taking total area of the lamina is concentrated at one point, so the distance between the point and the given axis is called the radius of gyration. So let us consider this is the lamina, and let us consider a point about which we are considering the area of the lamina which is concentrated, and let us consider any axis, x-axis. So the distance between this axis and the point where the total area is concentrated. See, this is the symmetrical lamina. So generally the total area will concentrate at this particular point. And if we are taking x-axis and y-axis, so in that particular condition the value of the radius will be 0. But if we are taking asymmetrical lamina, so the point of concentration of lamina will not be in the center. It will be somewhere here, somewhere here. It depends on the area, or it depends on the shape and size of the lamina. For example, this is our lamina, and if we are considering the area of the lamina is A, so in that case the area, if this is asymmetrical, so in that case that particular point where we are considering the total area is concentrated somewhere here, and this point we are considering as point P. So if we are taking the distance of point P about the x-axis, so and about the y-axis, this we are taking as y-axis, let us consider y-axis only. So the distance between P and y-axis is called the radius of gyration, and this radius of gyration we generally denote by K, and this formula of radius of gyration is always square root of I by A, where A is the area of lamina and I moment of inertia of the lamina about given axis. So this is the formula of radius of gyration. It is equals to square root of I by A. So we always use this particular formula to find out the radius of gyration. So this is one formula. Now let us consider different types of lamina, and let us find out different formulas which is based on the shape of the lamina. So in this category I am going to take the rectangular section. Here I will tell you different formulas which is related to different types of sections. So here first I am going to discuss about the rectangular section. Here if you are preparing for any competitive exam, so you don't need to do the complete derivation to find out these formulas. Here you should know different formulas only to solve the numerical. There is no need to do complete derivation form. So here, if we write down the rectangular equation formula as per the shape and size, so it will be, so here first I'm taking a lamina, a solid lamina in 2 dimension where we are not considering mass. So in that case, for this rectangular section, the moment of inertia will be for the x-axis and for the y-axis. Here we are considering this is the rectangular lamina, and width of the rectangular lamina we are considering b. It is given in the diagram, and depth of the lamina we are considering as d. It is given here. This is the depth and this is the breadth. Now here we are considering 2 axes, x-x axis and y-y axis. So as I already explained about the position of centroid for different laminas, and in rectangular section we generally consider this particular position of G at d by 2 distance. So d by 2 is generally representing the position of G, and if we want to find out the moment of inertia about x-x axis and moment of inertia about y-y axis, so it will be Ixx will be represented by b dq by 12. This is the moment of inertia about x-x axis, and Iyy is represented by d bq divided by 12. So this is representing moment of inertia about y-y axis. So these formula you have to use when you are solving the problem which is related to rectangular or plane rectangular section. Now if we have a hollow rectangular section, so in that case what will be the formula? Here I am going to tell you. So this is our diagram which is related to hollow rectangular section. You can see here, this is our hollow rectangular section. This particular part which you can see in the middle, this particular part is hollow part. And here we are considering the dimension of this rectangle as small d is representing the depth of the hollow part or hollow rectangle, and capital D is representing the depth of this particular rectangle. Bigger rectangle is represented by D and smaller rectangle is represented by small t. Similarly, we can define the breadth also. So here this capital B is representing the bigger dimension of breadth, and here small b is representing the smaller dimension of the breadth. And here this particular axis is represented as y-y axis, and this particular axis is represented as x-x axis. So for this particular rectangular lamina, we can define the moment of inertia about x-x axis and about y-y axis. So it will be, so this Ixx will be capital B capital DQ minus small b small d cube divided by 12, and Iyy is capital D capital B cube minus small d small b cube by 12. So this is representing moment of inertia about x-x axis, and this is representing moment of inertia about y-y axis. So you have to apply direct formula for this particular condition. Now let's move toward another section. So here another section is the triangular section. If we have a triangular lamina, so how we can find out the equation for the moment of inertia? Here I am going to tell you. So here we have this triangular lamina, and in this triangular lamina we are taking the base of the triangle as small b, and height of the triangle from the base to the apex, this total height is represented by h. And as we know, as per the concept of centroid, we generally consider the position of centroid at h by 3 from the base. So this h by 3 is representing the position of centroid when the medians are intersecting with each other. So that particular point is considered as the centroid, and it is always at the h by 3 from the base. And if we want to find out the moment of inertia about x-x axis and about y-y axis, so it will be, so Ixx will be BHQ by 36 and Iyy is BHQ by 12. This totally based on the dimension of the triangle, that is base and the height, the total height from apex to the base. So Ixx is representing moment of inertia about xx axis and Iyy is representing moment of inertia about yy axis for the triangular section. So it is bhq by 36 and bhq by 12. Now let's move toward another section, that is circular section. Now if we have a circular section, so for circular section, if this is representing a circle, so basically if we are taking small d as the diameter of the circle or d by 2 as the radius of the circle, and this d by 2 is represented by small r, that is radius of the circle, and small d is the diameter of the circle. So in that case, we can define the value of Ixx and Iyy, because here we generally define the position of centroid at the center of the circle only, or we can say from anywhere we can define the value of the centroid or the position of centroid at d by 2 distance. And if we want to find out the value of moment of inertia, so it will be Ixx equals to Iyy equals to pi by 64 d to the power 4, because here we generally consider the position of centroid at the center point only. So from xx axis and from yy axis, the value of moment of inertia will be same. Now if we want to find out the polar moment of inertia for this particular section, so it will be so I already explained about the perpendicular axis theorem, and if we are taking Izz, so Izz is always considered as the polar moment of inertia for any kind of lamina. So Izz is always equals to Ixx plus Iyy. So we can find out the value of polar moment of inertia, and it will be, so the polar moment of inertia will be Ixx plus Iyy, so it will be pi by 64 d to the power 4 plus pi by 64 d to the power 4, so it will be pi by 32 d to the power 4. So this is the equation for the polar moment of inertia, and this Ixx and Iyy is representing the moment of inertia about x-axis and about y-axis. Now let us consider another section for hollow circular section. If we have a hollow circular section, in that case what should be the formula for moment of inertia? So we have the diagram of a hollow circular section, and here we have this particular hollow circle, and here we are considering this as x-axis axis and this as y-y axis. So here this DO, small do is represented as the outer diameter of the circle, and di is represented as the inner diameter of the circle, and here this g is represented as the position of centroid for the circle or for this hollow circle. So we can write down the equation of Ixx and Iyy. It will be Ixx and Iyy both will be equivalent like the circular section, and here we have two diameters because this is a hollow section, so it will be pi by 64 d naught to the power 4 minus di to the power 4. So this is the formula of the moment of inertia for the hollow circular section. And if we want to find out the polar moment of inertia, so it is represented by Izz. So Izz will be pi by 32 do to the power 4 minus di to the power 4. So this is the formulas which is related to moment of inertia for a hollow circular section. Now let's move toward another section, that is semicircular section. So let's see the diagram. So here is the semicircular section, and in this semicircular section, if we are considering the diameter, that is small d, and the radius of this circle we are considering as r. And if we want to define the position of centroid for the semicircle, so this particular condition we have discussed in the chapter of centroid and center of gravity. So we can define the location of G for the semicircle. It is 4r by 3 pi. So on the basis of this particular condition, we can find out the value of Ixx and Iyy. So it will be, the formula of Ixx is 0.11 r to the power 4, or Iyy, it will be pi r to the power 4 by 8. Here in place of this particular capital R, if we are putting small r, and this capital R and small r is equivalent, so we can write down this equation with another notation also. So it will be 0.11 small r to the power 4, this is Ixx, and pi small r to the power 4 by 8, that is Iyy. So this particular equation are representing the equation of moment of inertia for a hollow circular section. Now, if we have a quarter circular section, so in that case, how we can find out the value of moment of inertia? So first, see the diagram. So this is the diagram of quarter circular section, and in this quarter circular section we are considering small r as the radius of this particular circle. If we are making this particular full circle, so this quarter circle is the fourth part of the full circle, so we will consider the radius only, and this radius we will find out from the center only. And if we want to find out the position or location of centroid for the quarter circle, so it is always considered at 4r by 3 pi only. So this is the position or location of the centroid from the x-axis or from the base, similar to this particular semicircle. So for this, the value of Ixx and Iyy will be, Ixx will be 0.55 r to the power 4 and Iyy will be 0.55 r to the power 4. So this is about the quarter circular section. Now let's find out the moment of inertia for an ellipse. This is the ellipse, and this xx is representing the x-axis and yy is representing the y-axis, and this ellipse we are considering as a symmetrical lamina. So G will always considered as the center point of the ellipse, and if we are considering A is the major dimension and B is the minor dimension for the ellipse, so the value of Ixx and Iyy will be Ixx will be pi abq by 4 and Iyy will be pi baq by 4. So this is representing the moment of inertia about x-axis axis, and this particular value is representing the moment of inertia about y-y axis. So this is the description of different formula which is related to moment of inertia based on different shapes of the laminas. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and subscribe to Ekeeda.